Module Overview. This module delves into the regulatory enforcement mechanisms of HIPAA, focusing on how the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, HHS, and its Office for Civil Rights, OCR, investigate, penalize, and monitor compliance with HIPAA regulations. You will gain deep insights into the legal framework supporting HIPAA enforcement, civil and criminal penalties for HIPAA violations, the enforcement process, complaints, audits, investigations, and resolutions, roles of state attorneys, general, whistleblowers, and third-party complainants, organizational strategies for compliance auditing, reporting, and risk mitigation. This module is critical for healthcare executives, compliance officers, legal counsel, and third-party service providers who wish to establish legally sound data protection frameworks and avoid costly legal repercussions. Module Content 1: HIPAA Enforcement, the Regulatory Landscape. HIPAA is enforced by the HHS Office for Civil Rights, OCR. It has the legal authority to investigate complaints, conduct audits, issue penalties, and require organizations to adopt corrective action plans. Other enforcement stakeholders include state attorneys, general, authorized by the HITECH Act 2009 to bring civil suits, Department of Justice, DOJ, handles Criminal Violations Office of Inspector General, OIG, investigates fraud or abuse linked to HIPAA breaches, whistleblowers and third-party complainants. Enforcement is triggered by complaints by individuals, self-reported breaches via breach notification rule, OCR audits, random or targeted, news media alerts. 2. Civil penalties under HIPAA. Civil penalties fall into 4 tiers depending on the level of negligence. Tier description: penalty per violation. Annual maximum: 1. Unaware of violation, $100, $50,000, $25,000, adjusted. 2. Reasonable cause, $1,000, $50,000, $100,000, adjusted. 3. Willful neglect, corrected, $10,000, $50,000, $250,000, adjusted. 4. Willful neglect, uncorrected, $50,000, $1.5 million, adjusted. As of recent HHS updates, these penalties may increase based on inflation adjustments. 3. Criminal penalties. Under HIPAA, the Department of Justice can prosecute individuals or organizations for willful violations. Penalties are based on intent and impact. Tier 1. Wrongful disclosure without intent, up to 1 year imprisonment. Tier 2. Obtaining EPHI under false pretenses, up to 5 years. Tier 3. Intent to sell, transfer, or use EPHI for malicious gain, up to 10 years. Recent criminal convictions include former employees accessing celebrity records, unauthorized data transfers to identity theft rings, providers selling EPHI to telemarketing firms. 4. OCR investigation and audit process. The HIPAA enforcement process includes the following steps: complaint submission or breach notification, initial OCR review, determine if HIPAA applies, formal investigation or audit data requests and on-site inspections, finding of non-compliance corrective action plan, CAP, or settlement agreement, public disclosure of penalties and resolution agreements, often damaging reputationally. OCR maintains a searchable wall of shame database of breaches affecting 500+ individuals. 5. The role of corrective action plans, SAPs. CAPs are binding agreements requiring organizations to develop policies and procedures aligned with HIPAA-trained staff and monitor employee behavior, submit regular compliance reports to OCR, undergo independent monitoring in serious cases. Non-compliance with a CAP may result in additional fines or criminal referrals. 6. Whistleblowers and complaint rights. Employees and patients can file HIPAA complaints without fear of retaliation under federal whistleblower protections. OCR investigates retaliation claims, allegations of ignored breaches, unsafe data practices. Organizations are encouraged to have anonymous internal reporting systems to address issues before they escalate externally. 7. Risk mitigation and proactive compliance strategies. To avoid HIPAA violations and penalties, healthcare organizations should conduct annual HIPAA risk assessments, implement a HIPAA compliance program with designated officers, maintain compliance documentation and training logs, implement technical safeguards, access control, audit logs, encryption, enforce incident response and breach reporting policies, stay up to date with HHS guidance and legal updates, Global Accreditation Alignment Standard, HIPAA Enforcement Integration, CPD CEU CME standards, compliance training, audit preparedness, staff competency, ISO 27001, internal audit processes, risk management, breach response, NIST SP 866, OCR audit preparation, control implementation, GDPR, EU, data breach fines, accountability principles, enforcement protocols,